There's news, there's sense and there's nuisance. This show is all about that last bit. हफ्ते की शुरुआत होने से पहले ही न्यूज की दुनिया में एक बड़ा धमाका हुआ।
बारूद का प्रहार होगा, बारूद से प्रहार किया जाएगा।
Speechless. Rubika, can you help me a bit with what's happening right here?
स्वाहा, ध्वस्त, नेस्त नाबूद।
वाह, कमाल की वो कैब है रूबिका जी। Thanks for that. We would have been lost for words without you. इस हफ्ते हमारे सारे प्रिय न्यूज चैनल्स ओबी वैन्स भर भर के टीआरपी की खोज में नोएडा सेक्टर 16 से नोएडा सेक्टर 93 पहुंच गए। 2 illegally built towers in Noida were ordered to be demolished by the Supreme Court. और इमारतों की तबाही के शौकीन टीवी न्यूज वाले were on the ground to report it. Now, even Newslaundry was on the ground to report on this, but we just had 2 reporters. और कहाँ हमारे 2 बेचारे पैदल रिपोर्टर्स, और कहाँ टाइम्स नाउ की टोली ऑन एन Audi, no comparison.
जहाँ हम मौजूद हैं यहाँ से तो हम चलता फिरता व्यू हमारे दर्शकों को दिखा रहे हैं कि आप देखिए कि जैसे ही 12 बजा 2.5 घंटे का वक्त बाकी था, ऐसे में जो लोकल लोगों की भीड़ है वो यहाँ पर बढ़ना शुरू हो गई है।
The best bit was TOI on Twitter alerting its readers that Times Now reporters are on an Audi. I really don't understand why you needed to cover this event on an Audi though. Not like the reporter could have driven on it to the Twin Towers. Why would you do it? Unless Audi was powering this Twin Tower Super Dhamaka program on Times Now. Are you? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that this event isn't something you shouldn't cover. But did we really need a 24/7 360-degree camera coverage with countdowns across channels? Tower demolition नहीं, moon mission हो गया. Just take a look at the show names first.
Twin Tower की आखिरी सांसें.
Demolition Day.
एक बटन और Twin Tower खत्म.
ट्विन टावर की अंतिम घड़ी।
ट्विन टावर्स की महासमाधि।
ऑपरेशन डायनामाइट।
टुकड़े टुकड़े ट्विन टावर।
ट्विन टावर टाइम बॉम्ब।
टीवी 9 की यूक्रेन वॉर कवरेज हिट क्या होगी, हर चीज में बॉम्ब डाल देते हैं हम। दे स्टार्टेड डूइंग अ काउंटडाउन टू द टाइम बॉम्ब 2 days बिफोर द एक्चुअल इवेंट। 2 days।
नोएडा का अवैध ट्विन टावर बस ध्वस्त होने वाला है और इसमें वक्त कितना बचा है ये काउंटडाउन नीचे आप टाइमर देख रहे हैं। 48 घंटे कुछ मिनट अब इसमें बाकी।
Of course, they weren't the only one. Countdowns began days before on many channels, and of course, there was extensive use of CGI. This is an anchor on a crane outside the building. This is an anchor inside the building. This is a visual of the blast before the blast. And this is an anchor flying you to Noida in a helicopter. इस सब में एक बेचारा टीवी 9 तेलुगु आवारा गलत ट्विन टावर पे पहुंच गया।
న్యూయార్క్ లోని వరల్డ్ ట్రేడ్ సెంటర్ హాలీవుడ్ ఫిల్మ్ లో యాక్షన్ ఎపిసోడ్ ని తలపించిన అటువంటి అరుదైన దృశ్యం ఇండియాలో కూడా కనిపించబోతోంది।
Dude, that's a 9/11 का ट्विन टावर। ये हॉलीवुड में नहीं, न्यूयॉर्क में हुआ था। The anchor probably knows that, but why on earth is she comparing a terror attack to a Supreme Court ruling? Then came the big day.
4 घंटे 48 मिनट और 41 सेकेंड। जी हाँ, बस इतना वक्त बचता है जिसके बाद एक जबरदस्त विस्फोट होगा।
Republic claimed they had 100 cameras and multiple reporters spread across the field.
करीब 100 कैमरों से किस तरीके से ट्विन टावर को ध्वस्त किया जाएगा।
करीब 100 कैमरों से किस तरीके से ट्विन टावर को ध्वस्त किया जाएगा।
And how many reporters?
1 2 3 चलो के 4 5 6 7 8 9।
ABP क्यों पीछे रहे? Take my 360-degree coverage, Republic, in your face.
यहाँ 360 डिग्री वाली ये कवरेज है, यानी कोई भी तस्वीर आपसे छूटने वाली नहीं है।
इतने सारे कैमरे, रिपोर्टिंग तो बिल्कुल लाजवाब रही होगी।
लोगों का जो क्रेज है इस टावर को देखने का, वो तस्वीर मैं आपको यहाँ पर दिखा दूं कि लोग जो है सेल्फी ले रहे हैं, यहाँ पर पिक्चर्स क्लिक कर रहे हैं।
What an information, लोग देखने के लिए आए हैं।
कहाँ से आए भैया आप? नोएडा से। तो ये देखने के लिए आए कि बिल्डिंग कैसे गिरी?
देखेंगे कैसे गिरेगी।
अच्छा,
अरे दूसरे लोगों से पूछो, शायद वो चाट खाने के लिए आए हैं।
ये देखने के लिए आए हैं।
अच्छा,
अरे ये लोग भी देखते हैं।
तो ये तो 2 बजे के आसपास गिरेगी, तब तक यहीं रहेंगे?
नहीं, अभी चले जाएंगे, देखने ही आए थे इसी बार।
What a sensational reporting. 100 cameras, टोलीज of reporters, 360-degree view, 24/7 coverage, countdowns. All this to tell you guys that people have come to see the blast. सब तमाशा देखने आए हैं. What a surprise. While Times Now had its Audi, News 18 had a Jeep.
ये हम खुली जीप में सवार होकर के आपको दिखा रहे हैं।
जी बिल्कुल, देखिए जिस रास्ते में फिलहाल हम मौजूद हैं, ये जो पूरा फ्लाईओवर है, ये भी उस दिन आम आवाजाही के लिए बंद किया जाएगा। इस फ्लाईओवर में जिस पे अभी हम चल रहे हैं।
Let's stay on this for a minute. That's a camera looking at the towers and the reporter. Then there is another camera on another car looking at the first camera. Look at the towers and the reporter. Clearly, too much money they are getting from Patanjali.
Finally, the moment everyone had been waiting for, blast होने ही वाला था।
58, 57, 56,
बस होने ही वाला है।
35, 34, 33,
Any second now.
4, 3, 2, 1,
and boom!
और ये इमारत जो है ये धराशायी हो चुकी है। ये भ्रष्टाचार की इमारत जमींदोज हो चुकी है।
और ये देखिए वो धुएं का गुब्बार, ये है ट्विन टावर।
ये तस्वीरें जो है
और चारों तरफ
इतिहास रच दिया गया है। इतिहास रच दिया। ट्विन टावर्स का तो पता नहीं, इंडियन मीडिया ने जरूर इतिहास रचा है। वैसे रोज ही रचते हैं ये इतिहास।
पुलिस यहाँ लोगों को भगाने की कोशिश कर रही है। अब पुलिस हमें यहाँ से हटने के लिए कह रही है, तो हम यहाँ से हट रहे हैं।
You can watch and read 2 of our reports on the Twin Tower demolition on our website. We didn't have a countdown for 2 days, or we didn't have crazy special effects, but we got you what's important, including the media circus.
ओपन जीप से रिपोर्टिंग हुई, ऑडी से रिपोर्टिंग हुई। ओपन जीप में रिपोर्टर और एंकर मौजूद थे, वहीं स्कूटी पे कैमरामैन और पूरी शूटिंग की जा रही थी।
The main story this week is crimes against women. In Jharkhand, a young 16-year-old girl, Ankita, was burnt alive by stalker Shahrukh. The details of this case are painful. Young Ankita was being followed by Shahrukh. A day before her murder, he had called her, and when she refused to speak to him, he said he would murder her. When Ankita complained to her father said that he would speak to Shahrukh's mother in the morning. By night, Shahrukh came to Ankita's house, threw petrol at her while she was sleeping, and flicked a matchstick at her. Ankita's father was woken up by her screams, seeing her burn alive. This is what he told the media.
He also regrets the fact that Ankita did not tell anybody in the family about how Shahrukh was allegedly stalking and harassing her. I got to know when she gave her statement before the magistrate at the hospital that he was stalking her for about a fortnight. She was afraid to step out of the house, he claimed.
The pain of Ankita's family is something that only they can fully feel. Meanwhile, in the same week, a 17-year-old girl had to be airlifted from Jharkhand to Delhi after she was attacked by acid by a man who couldn't take a no for an answer. In UP and MP, similar cases of teenage girls being stabbed emerged. In all these cases, the women were being harassed by men who then decided harassment is not enough. We should kill these women too. Women being killed or attacked because they refuse men. It takes a special sickness of the mind to commit such crimes. Often such crimes are recorded as love affair murders, all one-sided love affairs. But we'll come to the data later. Let's first discuss something equally sickening we witnessed this week. How usual suspects use the grave injustice against Ankita for their Hindu-Muslim TRP game.
क्या अंकिता की हत्या अपराध नहीं जिहाद है?
The accused in Ankita's case is a Muslim, and so there's ground mobilization by friends of saffron parties, calling it love jihad, giving it a communal spin. फिर क्या था? बाकी का सारा काम टीवी न्यूज के कार्यकर्ताओं ने संभाल लिया।
देश में एक सन्नाटा है क्योंकि अंकिता का नाम शायद आफरीन, आतिया या कुछ और नहीं है, लेकिन ये अंकिता की जगह आसिफा होती और शाहरुख की जगह समीर होता तो क्या होता?
It's come to this. An anchor can actually get away with saying things like this, कि what if a Hindu boy had raped a Muslim girl? This actually passes off as a legitimate point of discussion on TV news. कि भाई हिंदू लड़की का murder rape या मुस्लिम लड़की का murder rape. When News 18 is telling all this, they're also flashing that they're #1 channel. Number 1 in the country for using everything that happens in the country to divide the country. Of course, Aman ki no asha doesn't care about women or crimes against women, because then he would have actually done a deep dive discussion on the latest NCRB report. And then he would have told you that there has been a 15.3% increase in crimes against women in the country in 2021. In the very week Ankita's case was reported, similar cases of men attacking women for refusing their advances emerged in other parts of the country. You also have the case of the Lingayat seer. But he's not going to talk about all these issues. He will use one case where the criminal is Muslim so that it fits into his nightly Hindu-Muslim routine, and forget about the case the very next day. Navika, who basically kept mum on the whole Bilkis Bano issue, thought, oh, finally I can take her name, I can bring it up, because then I can balance it out with another crime against another woman, with a lot of BS drama, of course.
कोई ना कोई महिला आपकी बहन होगी, आपकी पत्नी होगी, आपकी बेटी होगी, और अगर घर में कोई महिला नहीं है, बेटे ही हैं, तो ये सोचिए कि माँ हमेशा महिला ही होगी।
थैंक यू, हमें तो पता ही नहीं था।
और महिला सुरक्षा और सम्मान का मुद्दा सबसे बड़ा होता है।
रियली नविका, ये इतना बड़ा मुद्दा है कि आपने अगस्त के महीने में इस पे एक भी डिबेट या डिस्कशन नहीं करी, ना ही आपने एनसीआरबी रिपोर्ट पे एक डिटेल डिस्कशन की।
कि मैं बिल्किस बानो के दोषियों से नरमी की बिल्कुल भी समर्थक नहीं। मैं चाहती हूँ ये सवाल पूछा जाना चाहिए और सुप्रीम कोर्ट में इसमें दखल देना चाहिए, और किसने लोगों को 11 ऐसे आरोपियों को रिहा किया, इस पर पूरी हिसाब किताब और अकाउंटेबिलिटी फिक्स होना चाहिए।
जय हो। Supreme Court will be very happy that they have your permission to do dakhal in this case. And by the way, we know how Bilkis's rapists were released early. We know which party to thank for it. Your favorite one.
बिल्किस पर आक्रोश, अंकिता पर सिर्फ कड़ी निंदा। अगर बिल्किस पर धरना तो बंगाल पर क्यों चुप रहना?
इतने सीरियस इशू पे इतनी सस्ती शायरी. At some point it stops being funny, and even we at Newsance don't feel like responding at such low-level Twitter discussions, Twitter-type discussions that you see on TV. The Bilkis Bano case has legitimately been politicized because the very reason her rapists are out is because of politics. They're out because BJP MLAs sat on a committee and made that decision. In the Ankita case, no one is protecting Shahrukh. No party has come out in his support. An outrage there was in Ankita's case too, when the country saw Shahrukh smile as he was being taken away by the police. This is a face of no remorse. Maybe because he thinks and he knows that there's nothing wrong with what he did and that he'll get away with it. If you look at the latest NCRB figures, there's an entire table that deals with kidnapping of women to compel them to marriage. मतलब शादी से मना कर दिया तो उठा लो, बात नहीं कर रही तो मार डालो. Every other day you hear of reports of acid attacks, stalkers killing women. When it comes to crimes against women, we see 86 cases of rape registered daily and 49 cases of crimes against women every single hour. When it comes to the number of rape cases, Rajasthan was on the top of the list, followed by states like Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra and Uttar Pradesh, while Delhi also recorded considerable number of cases. When it comes to acid attack, West Bengal has the maximum number of cases. Clearly, this is not about one state or one party or one religion. This is a problem of the entire country and our society, as Sudhir Chaurdhary said it. Surprised? Yes, I said as Sudhir Chaurdhary said it.
और इसमें धर्म की भी क्या बात करनी? हर धर्म के लोग होते हैं. आपको ऐसे तमाम लोग मिलेंगे जो पान की दुकान पर खड़े होंगे, चाय की दुकान पर खड़े होंगे, मोहल्ले के चौक पर खड़े होंगे, और वहां से जब कोई महिला या जब कोई लड़की गुजरती है तो वो उस पर ताने कसते हैं, उस लड़की का पीछा करते हैं.
Politicians will always want to distract from the real issue and blame each other and each other's parties. This is where we need a media that steps up and puts them in a spot. When crimes like the one in Jharkhand happen, we need them to step up and ask questions of police administration. We need them to look at delays in conviction in such cases. We need to ask parties what they're doing to make sure women are safer. How will we truly fix accountability? We need to ask ourselves as a society, how are we raising our boys? And you need to ask your TV news anchor why he's using this gruesome crime to further hate in society, all for TRPs. You need to ask brands why they support such toxic shit shows that pass off as news. All I can say for now is sorry, Ankita, and countless girls and women like you. Many of our star anchors at least have failed you. That's all the nuisance we have for you this week. We'll be back next week. Until then, stay mad. That's the only way. Thank you so much guys for watching this episode. Please share this with your friends and family. Please like our episode and please subscribe to newslaundry.com. Remember that we are completely ad-free. We don't take any advertisements from governments or corporations. We only depend on your support. So please log on to newslaundry.com and subscribe.